What's going on, everybody? How you doing? And welcome. My name is Lord PeteyTV. I'm here to kind of talk to you all about this game that is in beta this past week, and I think it's going to actually be a pretty nice, fun change of pace for some people in the World of Warcraft realm. The game we're talking about is Fellowship. Now, uh, Fellowship is a game created by Chief Rebel and has been kind of named one of the first MODAs. Now, if you're asking yourself what is a MODA, it is a massive online dungeon adventure. Now, this MODA is probably one of the biggest changes in a thought process for many people that are gaming. Now, I am a huge Mythic Plus person in the World of Warcraft community. I love it. I do it daily. I can do them all day long. My biggest issue, concern, and annoyance with regular MMOs is the grinding for the levels in between. Now, I know that there is a way that you can end up changing that information in the game so that you can end up producing a story while still producing these dungeons. Now, the game itself for Fellowship, they really don't have a story right now. I don't know if they're going to be adding one. I'm hoping they will be, and hopefully we'll be able to speak to somebody about that. But right now, the way that the game is pretty much placed is you end up creating, well, you don't even create a character. They have all of your templated characters there. You pick a character, you play as that character, and you go into the dungeons, and then you complete the dungeons, you get the loot at the end, and you proceed forward. The way that you level, quote unquote, level your character is by going through the dungeons. You complete a level 1 dungeon, you get a second ability. You complete a level 2 dungeon, you'll be able to, get another ability. You complete a level 3 dungeon, you end up getting, your talents, and so on and so forth. And I really think that the game itself can push other games forward in the knowledge that they are bringing in. The other thing I wanted to say was the way the Fellowship is kind of flowing, you don't really have, you don't have an identity as a character because, you end up playing one of the templated characters, and that is the plan going forward throughout the whole entire game. As of right now, there's 6 characters, 2 tank class, 2 DPS class, 2 healer class. I've played as the tank classes, and the tank classes are very, very different. And one I think is a lot stronger than the other in the way of being able to hold aggro, being able to DPS, being able to self-heal, so on and so forth. The DPS classes, one is a ranged, one is a melee. It feels like the melee class can actually do more damage than the ranged class. So this is all perception from the dungeons I've done. I've done up to 9 as a dungeon. So just bear with me for this information. So, like I said, that's how the DPS has kind of been laid forward. As for the healers, one healer is just a direct type healer, does not really do much damage to the mobs, whereas the other one is a very weak over the time healer, but also does huge amounts of straight direct damage. So I played as the monk, quote unquote monk, tank class, and I also played as the druidish type of healer. So when I kind of played those classes, they felt really good as individualized classes, as they had their own entity, which felt really, really good. And it really made me enjoy playing. And it was really hard for me to kind of take myself away from playing the game because I was having so much enjoyment out of it. And I knew that the data that we had wasn't going to be saved anyway. If you take the comparison of, let's say, a WoW Mythic Plus dungeon and a Fellowship dungeon, the way that they end up act is they're both very similar but different at the same time. So World of Warcraft, you have, your affixes throughout your dungeons, which is, at 2, 2, 4, 7, 10, 12 for your Mythic Plus dungeons. And on your Fellowship dungeons, you have changes on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Every single one, there's a change. There's a mutation. So once you get to a certain point, you get even 2 affixes, which is like hurtful things that are going to happen to you. And you're going to have 5 other affixes on the other side. So it really kind of shows you the difference of how you can do things. The other thing is you end up having this kind of system where from level 1 to level, I think it's 4, there's no change in any of the mobs whatsoever, in their abilities or anything like that. And I think it's level 5 that once you go into that level 5 dungeon, all the mobs get a second set of abilities. So they have DPS differently, they have, bigger AoEs, they hurt more, they have, like, for instance, this Stormguard, I think it's Stormguard, the last boss prior to that key change, he doesn't do this AoE circle. Once you get the AoE circle, you have to have everybody stack. And for some reason, nobody kind of realizes that they have to stack. So once you kind of learn those little things here and there, it actually turns into a really, really interesting dungeon and a really, really interesting way to play and have a different change. So would I say that I'm going to play Fellowship in the future? All depends upon what they plan on doing with the game itself. As of right now, I would probably play it. I wouldn't say it would be my quote-unquote main game to play, because I would like to see more of the things they end up doing in it. But I definitely think that the art style, even though it's simplistic, I enjoy it. The difficulty level, I really, really enjoy. I love the MMO aspect of it. That really makes me enjoy it. The individuality between all of the characters, I really, really enjoy that too. So I would say that, it's really got some good abilities. It's got some quote-unquote good legs to kind of move forward. And I think that they have a real good win on their hands. They just have to make sure they play it safe. I shouldn't say play it safe, but I should say they got to play it smart, and hopefully they end up, proceeding forward. So as always, thank you all very much for hanging out and checking out this video. Please make sure you end up coming check us out on YouTube or on Twitch every single Monday through Friday. By all means, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We work really hard to put these videos together, and I would love for you to be able to continue to see all of them. We have lots and lots of videos that come out either here or on our sister channels, so come check us out. Thank you again. Dream big, keep gaming, and I will see you all soon. Thank you. Bye, everybody.